Hello, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony. Thank you for joining us in the DMSO Listening Room. Today, I'll try to answer the question, what makes a piece of music great? This is quite possibly the question I'm asked most often, whether coming from a professional musician or a random audience member. It's a question that I have spent a lifetime trying to answer. Is a piece of music referred to as great right from its first performance? Or does it happen over time? Does longevity come into play? Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and Bach's remarkable Brandenburg concertos leap to mind as pieces that have stood the test of time, but whose greatness was not immediately embraced. What about innovation? Does something unusual or new happen within the form of a piece? As in Beethoven's Ninth Symphony or Brahms' Fourth? Has the composer taken us to new places harmonically or found a new approach to melody, such as the Sibelius Fifth or many of Tchaikovsky's symphonies? Or what about the complete absence of melody, such as the 12-tone school of Weber, Berg, and Schoenberg? And what if a piece is popular, say Smetana's Moldau or Grieg's Piano Concerto? Just because a piece is played over and over and gains international appeal, does this merit the title of greatness? And what's the difference between good and great? Is a great piece played by a less than great symphony still great? And inversely, when a great orchestra plays a great piece in a mediocre way, is the piece still great? I find it difficult to define what great is. We probably all have pictures etched in our mind's eye of the Grand Canyon, the oceans of the world, the Rocky Mountains, and the beautiful beaches in the south of France, all great in their own right. When we experience them in all their splendor, these examples and many more overtake us and leave a lasting impression. I believe music has this capacity too, thus being the most significant ingredient of greatness, that which communicates to us in an unforgettable way, something that has the capacity to change our perspectives and our lives. The point is that greatness is defined by us, the listeners. The old proverb, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder," comes to mind. I believe the same can be said of greatness. What may be a musical experience that stays with me for a lifetime may just be one more evening at the symphony for you. Enjoyable, rewarding, but not life-changing. I think we can all agree that Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is one of the greatest masterpieces ever written. Why? Regardless of all the innovation of form and harmony, the drama, the vastly unique scoring for 4 solo voices, a chorus, and largest orchestra ever assembled in Beethoven's time, the piece has a universal message of brotherhood and joy. All people getting along. This message resonates with the vast majority of people throughout the globe, and its impact is heightened by the music. This is the epitome of greatness. As you might expect, I have my own opinions about music that I think is great. This music fits the criteria above and always brings me enjoyment and, of course, humility. The geniuses that created this music from pen and blank parchment leave me awestruck. My personal list includes Mozart's operas Don Giovanni and The Marriage of Figaro. In both of these operas, we hear the perfect amalgamation of music and storytelling, entertaining, engaging, funny, and as relevant today as they were when they were first written. And while on the subject of opera, those of Verdi and Puccini, all with intriguing and beguiling stories. Music of unprecedented lyricism, rich in harmony and appealing in so many ways. These works certainly cross the threshold into greatness for me. Then, the Second and Eighth Symphonies of Mahler with his larger-than-life orchestras, coupled with voices singing poignant messages of life, joy, and resurrection. And I would have to include the later symphonies of Tchaikovsky and Mozart, all four Brahms symphonies, Sibelius symphonies 5 and 7, and so many other works that have spoken to countless generations of listeners. Indeed, all these pieces and so many more are great, and it could be because of what I mentioned earlier regarding innovation, form, harmony, and melody. But from my point of view, what makes a piece of great music great is how it conveys its message. If it is clear to the veteran concert attendee, as it is to the first-time concert goer, if it speaks to every performer, bringing the music to life, and if it appeals to participants time after time, bringing a sense of newness and discovery to each listener, then it is indeed great music. Ultimately, greatness is defined by your own personal experience. Bernard Haitink, longtime conductor of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra, and Simon Rattle, past conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic, were observing a rehearsal of Carlos Kleiber with the Vienna Philharmonic. The piece he was conducting was the Fourth Symphony of Brahms. Kleiber was renowned for his depth and interpretive qualities, and he had a strong association with this piece. He said very little during the rehearsal, but seemed to show everything he wanted to hear, with his gestures and with his eyes, his sweeping motions for lyric legato passages, the precision of an army general for the rhythmic marches, and the breathlessness of nostalgia and somber moments. All this was felt by everyone in the rehearsal. It was magical. Greatness was being created with only a few words spoken. How can that be? Haitink turned to Rattle and said, "I feel like an amateur today. I have so much to learn. Unfortunately, I can study for the rest of my days and never achieve what he has today." That's it for today's Listening Room. Don't forget to go to our website where you can find video links to Carlos Kleiber's Beethoven Symphony 5 and Brahms Symphony No. 4 right after this video. You'll also find more content in our hashtag DMSO at Home series, featuring self-produced videos by our musicians from their homes to yours. Thanks for watching.